Hey, welcome to you. All right, so I was getting a kind of prompt from Spirit to do a reading for you for the upcoming solar eclipse that's happening in Aries. And I believe it's happening on March 29th. But feel free to fact check that. But I do know it's upcoming, okay? And so Spirit really wanted me to hop on today, and they have a scene they're showing me, which I'm just really excited to dive into today. But here's what they're showing me for those of you who are watching this. Okay, so as I'm coming into the scene, we're zooming in down kind of below, and I see us going into what looks like a subway tunnel. Now we're sort of on the platform, and I see you standing on this platform, almost seemingly waiting for this train, okay? Now it's interesting because on this platform, it really seems to be pretty like empty for the most part. I'm not seeing, it doesn't look like there's like seemingly anyone else there, okay? But what's really important is you're kind of like standing a couple of feet away from the edge. You have your hands in your pocket, and as I'm seeing it and coming into this scene, there's a subway train that's flying by right now. And it kind of looks like what you'd see in a little bit in the movies. There's like the newspaper, there's like a piece of newspaper that's like flying up, and it kind of looks like it's like windy, okay? Because there's a lot happening with the movement of the train. And this scene itself is a bit kind of breathless. It's almost like kind of taking your breath away with the ways that train is moving so fast, and you're just kind of standing there and just kind of taking it in a way. Now it's interesting to see you because you don't look like you're worried or bothered or anything like that. It looks like this makes sense for some reason. Okay, that's almost what it's like. And so I was trying to ask Spirit when I first came into the scene. I was like, well, what is the train? Like, what is the train? Does that represent something? And they're saying the train isn't really super important here. And then what they did was they moved my attention and also your attention to your right, because you're standing kind of towards the end of the kind of platform here. And we're moving your attention to the right. And when you look to the right, you're seeing someone else standing there as well. So there's someone else just not too far from you, but they're standing there also seemingly waiting for a train. And just kind of in the same moment you're in right here. And it's interesting because as soon as you kind of look to them, they also look over at you, and you both kind of like catch each other's gaze or catch each other's like eyes, right? And so that kind of happens. It's interesting. There's not really anything happening between you. It's just, there's kind of like a knowing and understanding to this scene. There's no like rush or urgency or need to really get anywhere, it seems like. But you kind of are both just like in a similar position. You kind of look at each other. It's clear from Spirit that you're both waiting on the same train, but it's only you two on this platform. And they're saying something about divine timing is really important here, but that you're both kind of almost in this like, I don't know if it's like a limbo space, but that's kind of what it's coming through as. It's like a liminal space where, you know, the train's not quite here yet. There's one zooming by, there's still movement here, but there's some sort of like peace that's happening here within this scene, which is really, really interesting. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. And then I was like, you know, Spirit, is there anything else to see here? Because this is a really interesting scene. Like, like what am I looking at? And then they, once again, move my attention to behind both of you standing on this platform. And there's actually a dog, okay? And I see this dog, looks like a very, I don't know, it has like brown spots, kind of gray spots, black spots. It's kind of mostly white. And it comes up and it almost like trots from behind you both. And it comes to like, it sees you both, and then it sits right between both of you as well. So it's just sitting there also seemingly waiting on this train. So I don't know what all of this represents. Like Spirit is being very mysterious right now, and we're gonna kind of dive into the cards and get deeper into it. But I'm really curious like what this dog represents, what this liminal space is. So we're definitely gonna ask about this. And then of course what you need to know about the scene. But Spirit is saying, when I ask one more time, like, again, is this train important at all? What does the train represent? The train, they're saying the train represents what's next. Okay, and apparently it's not like super important to this reading, but like this moment you're in is important, and there's some things within it that they want to like kind of talk about with you. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so I feel like this is the theme of the reading. So if you feel like that resonates with you, just keep on watching. We're gonna go deeper. If for any reason you feel like that scene doesn't resonate with you, like no worries at all. Feel free to check out another reading or video I have up for you. Maybe for one of the astro signs I have up that maybe more resonate with you right now. All right, so let's go ahead and go deeper into this reading. I feel like I have so many questions, but I really want to ask Spirit, since this is related to the solar eclipse and it feels like there's this liminal space that's happening. It's almost like there's a waiting, but a not waiting. I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like there's like a contentment here. There's a kind of like, you just know you're waiting on something, okay? So Spirit, what is going well for the collective, whoever's watching this, within the kind of eclipse energy? This card? Ooh, interesting. Is the Six of Pentacles upright? Yeah. As well as reverse. Yeah, I feel like something's coming. I don't know. It's almost like there is something incoming, almost like this person is like handing, you know, whatever these are, seemingly like pentacles or morsels or whatever it is, to this other person. But I feel like right now it's in this, there's a little bit of a hold energy. That's how this is coming through in reverse. But I do feel like you sense something is coming. Okay, and especially if you're an Aries, I'm hearing that really strongly. Okay, so it feels like something is coming. What, can you expand on this a little bit more? What's going well? This? Ooh, King of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, you're waiting on something. Something is coming in, and I do feel like I really like this energy, especially with both of these pentacles, right? Because this Six of Pentacles is typically a card of like giving or receiving, or an equal balance of giving and receiving, and the King of Pentacles is very abundant. I feel like you are waiting for something to like show up in your material world. I get the sense you've been waiting for a little bit here, especially by the scene that I'm seeing here. But this is so interesting how this is coming in. You are waiting for something to kind of manifest, and it's quite possible maybe it shows up, because this is coming through right now. I don't know why they're showing me the Taurus bullheads here. Maybe it really drops in fully during like Taurus season, so that feels very present for a few of you who are watching this, okay? But it's almost like you're waiting on something to like kind of finally materialize for you. That feels really strong. So I really like that. Do you have more to say? Okay, yeah, there's a little bit more to say. Hold on. Oh, this card. Oh my God, we have so many pentacles. Page of Pentacles, yes. Okay, yeah, this energy is so incredibly strong. It's like, it's almost like you're feeling the buildup of this, but I sense why you're not really like worried here. I don't know, there's not really, I'm not getting the sense of you necessarily being worried. Now, sure, maybe actually in the external world, you're having things happening. Maybe there is some anxiety coming up, but for whatever reason, it feels like your soul is very aware of what's going on here. Again, subconsciously, maybe even if consciously you're not. I don't know. I'm just getting a sense there's a plan. Like there are so many pentacles here and they're all saying the same thing. It's like, it's going to drop in. That's just what I keep getting and what I keep hearing, and it's coming in. Now, this does feel related. I don't know. I'm also seeing the Eight of Pentacles in my mind's eye. That's what they're showing me. I am sensing here that this is something for whoever is waiting on something here. This is if you've worked for it. Okay, now if you're just waiting for your situation to change just miraculously, that's not the energy that's here. Although there may be something that comes in to kind of shake up what's going on in your world right now to kind of get you closer into this kind of Pentacles energy, which feels very grounded, feels very stable, but importantly, it feels like materialized in your external world, okay? So that feels really strongly. So I am seeing like the Tower card in my mind's eye. Again, I feel like I'm speaking to almost two different sets of people here. For those of you who have been working towards a particular, like, I don't know, a goal, something you've been trying to bring in for yourself, you've maybe been waiting on it, maybe it feels like you've been Eight of Pentacles, putting the hard work in. I feel like, again, your soul feels very like aligned with this divine timing. And I feel like because you're in the subway tracks, it's not here quite yet, but something within this eclipse, it feels like it's heralding in kind of this movement for you where it actually starts to show up. So again, for those of you who are in kind of that bucket, that's what this feels like. And it's like your soul knows it's coming in. You can almost feel it. Like I can almost feel it in this energy with all this pentacles, right? Like it's just gonna like show up. But like I said, I just feel like this reading is sort of confirmation of that for those of you who this part of the message applies to. Now, for others of you, if you are someone like, for instance, I'm getting a specific example here. If you're someone who's been like working the same job, sitting at the same desk every day and just hoping and praying that someone's going to come in and just like hand you your dreams, okay, almost like this Six of Pentacles here, okay, just hands it to this person. Spirit's saying that's actually not what this applies to, but I am seeing a Tower card as in like something's going to come and try and shake this up to get you to move further towards the things you actually want. Okay, so that feels really strong. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so we got another card here. We have the Nine of Wands. Upright? No, in reverse. Yeah, I like this. It comes unstuck. It just comes unstuck. I'm seeing the Wall of Wands sort of like coming down here, but there's a kind of coming unstuck. Again, something is being like moved with this eclipse, unbeknownst to you. And I am struck by the fact there's like a sun behind this, and this card is almost giving sort of an eclipse energy of like the spears, the wands here are kind of eclipsing this sun. Yeah. Okay, so I do feel like something is being revealed or coming up to be revealed here soon. Okay, so of either sort. So whether, again, no matter which kind of path you're on right now, it feels like it's coming up. So what is this, Spirit? What is this card? They are talking. Ace of Cups. I like it. I like it. One more. Oh, and the Hermit. Okay, yes, I see that. Okay, so they gave you the Ace of Cups. They gave you the Ten of Swords in reverse. They gave you the Knight of Cups. Okay, and the Hermit. Okay, wow, I really like this. It's interesting. So there's definitely a message here around, for those of you, again, who are kind of in the situation of like waiting on a change, Spirit is asking you to get yourself unstuck. There's something here around this like Ten of Swords in reverse that's coming through. It's almost like, I keep hearing, what are you waiting on? is the phrase they're sending through. That feels really, really strong, but it just feels like the opportunity for you to go after like this Knight of Cups into the Ace of Cups, to go after what it is you want. You see both hands are holding, you hear that? Yeah, both hands are holding the overflowing cup, like it's available for you, but I do think it's going to require you confronting a certain wall of fears that you've been holding on to, that have kind of kept you stuck. And it's interesting because they're showing this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like someone, I'm showing it to you upright, but it's coming out in reverse for this part of the message. It's almost like being at work, just stuck at your desk in a chair. That's what I'm seeing. And again, that's a metaphor. Okay, this doesn't have to be about work at all. This could literally be about any situation. This could be about a connection, again, a relationship. This could be about a different situation you're in altogether. Okay, that feels strong. This could be about a financial situation, like all of that stuff. But Spirit is saying like, there's options and opportunities available for you through this Ace of Cups for you to like almost kind of flow out of this situation. It's almost like Spirit's showing the pentacle dissolving into the water and almost like being able to, like this cup almost can't even contain it. And it's kind of like the spiritual waters of your spirit, in fact, saying, well, I'm not contained by this situation. I'm actually able to like move out of this if I want. I don't know why. That's coming with that King of Pentacles in reverse. I really like that. And like kind of moving back into the element of being a student in your own life again. I don't know, for whatever reason, this is a very specific part of this message, but for someone, it feels like you've almost exhausted everything you have to learn here in this situation. The Hermit in reverse. You've almost exhausted it. And so Spirit is saying it's time to get back into student mode. It's time to get back into learning again how to go with the flow of your life and to being in the flow of life. And there's a bit of a rigidity coming in with these pentacles with this slice of the message, okay? So again, that feels really specific. But I really like this this other part of the message here, which is definitely like confirming that there is something coming in here with this Ace of Cups. For those of you who've been working at it and working at something diligently with all this Pentacles energy, like Spirit is saying, like it again, there's an unsticking also to this Ten of Swords. It's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like it breathes new life into you somehow. That's what this is coming through as. I'm seeing the heart start beating on this card. That's what Spirit's showing, and it's like coming into its like natural coloring again. Yeah, it's almost like it breathes some life back into you here. And there may be, it feels like maybe potentially an infusion of energy that's coming back in, but I don't know. It seems like something's starting to kick up in the external world that's bringing you back into kind of like, I don't know why this Knight of Cups is coming in kind of passionate about what it is you're going after, or what it is you actually want, or feels emotionally satisfying or fulfilling for you, which is really interesting. But I do feel like with this Hermit, because again, this is an Earth card, which Earth is related to Pentacles, okay, because this is connected in with Virgo. It's a card that represents Virgo. It is speaking to the hard work that you've been doing and the ways that you've had to overcome certain fears as well. Again, Ten of Wands in reverse, for you to actually get to see I'm hearing to see the eclipse, but I feel like it's more to see the sun, and like the Sun Tarot card is coming through really strong. So that's kind of what this feels like. And it feels really, really good, in fact. Yeah, but it does feel like there's some sort of momentum with this Knight of Cups. It's almost like you're holding the cup that's spilling the water, the spiritual waters. I really like this. Okay, so what is it, Spirit? Okay, so this is such an interesting message. What is it, Spirit, with this other person? Who is this other person? What do they represent? I'm getting a sense they don't necessarily this doesn't have to represent an actual person. This could represent, I'm hearing a group. It could represent like some other event or situation or dynamic. It doesn't have to be an actual person, okay? But I want to see, do you have more to share on that? All right, I'm hearing yes. Okay, what is it with this other person? What are you both waiting on? This card? Ooh, Six of Cups. Is that upright? And reverse. Whoa. This one? Knight of Wands. Yeah, something's incoming fast. Knight of Wands. Can you get another card? All right, I want another card. Hold on one second. This is interesting. This card. Queen of Cups. Is that upright? Yeah. All right, and this top card. Queen of Pentacles. What the heck? Upright and reverse. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Yeah, this Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands is coming in really fast. This is bringing some heat. So this is definitely confirming part of the message that I was talking about earlier. This is coming in again with that same momentum, that same momentum that's building up. And I'm really struck by the fact we're in such like a water fire sort of paradigm also within this like kind of, some of the cards I'm seeing that we've just pulled is kind of water and fire, and also is reflecting some of the like astrological movements right now, right? Like we still have Mars, which is Aries ruling planet in Cancer. We have I believe Venus just moved from Aries back into Pisces. So we have like a lot of like air, not air, we have like water and fire at play here. And then we pulled the Queen of Cups. So yeah, that definitely feels right. It's like, I feel like this is bringing in some satisfaction and fulfillment on every single level, but I'm also struck by the fact that we have everything but air. That's interesting. That's exactly it. It's almost like not wanting to bring in too much of the mind, of the fears, of the overthinking, of the thoughts, of the mental looping, of all of the spinning is what I'm hearing. So all of that stuff. Yeah, and I feel like by kind of addressing those fears that we see and kind of bringing that to an end, like we see in this Ten of Swords, it brings you closer into the things you actually want, associated with this Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, which I really, really like. That feels grounded on both an emotional as well as like an actual tangible level, but it's the way you feel within yourself. I like it. This is also giving the energy of like how you seemingly are within this kind of subway right now, in the subway tunnel or the platform. It's just kind of content. It's kind of like, I know this is coming. I know this is coming because I've worked for it, or I've been, you know, kind of after this. And that's exactly what it feels like. And it's almost like this Knight of Wands is coming in with the energy of the eclipse. It's like the fiery energy of Aries coming in, riding on this horse with the magic of the wand here, which is coming through like a staff, as the ways that Spirit is showing it to me. And Spirit is also connecting in that staff as the same staff related to this Hermit. It's because you did some sort of internal work. That is how this part of the message applies for that internal work. Now, I find this card to be really interesting because it's coming out as sort of like being present. There's a sort of like present time awareness that you're in this sort of liminal space. And again, there's not really a movement to like move forward or move back or really move anywhere. It feels like there's, again, it's almost like waiting because you know it's coming in on this horse or on the train, the next train that's coming. Yeah, that feels really strong here. I like that. Okay, now it's interesting because I also got, when I pulled this Six of Cups, I also got this as someone from the past or something from the past is coming back up. I'm hearing for someone for you to deal with, and I feel like is actually connected. Is that right? Yeah. All right, they're saying is connected in with this Ten of Swords. But I feel like there's some sort of moving through this energy that then kind of unlocks you into all of the movement of the Knight of Wands into the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so I do feel like that. The other bit, such a strange and interesting part of this message, but I'm almost getting like this person, place, or thing that's coming back around is connected with a kind of previous or younger, potentially, or earlier version of yourself that I think made you feel really unstable. And I'm hearing maybe insecure in some ways. And it's almost like you're kind of like, I am hearing seeing how far you've come is part of it. But I also feel like this is this feels like there's some sort of blossoming energy here. Can I say that? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like there's a blossoming here of almost being like, well, you know, this didn't break me. In fact, it actually made me into who I'm becoming. Ooh, I'm getting chills. I love that. I love that. And this is not coming in with any sort of like anger. I'm getting Knight of Wands in reverse. And Spirit doesn't want you to hold any anger for this situation, in fact, or any sort of resentment or any negative feelings, in fact, because I feel like what they're trying to say here is that this actually was important. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles upright. This was a building block into you becoming who you needed to become to bring in this abundance that wants to come in with this King of Pentacles. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it's like a building block. It's like the earth. It's like building, okay? But that's how it's coming through. It's almost like that had to happen. Yeah, and I'm hearing a door shut right now. That's exactly it. And I'm also hearing with that door shutting, like Spirit doesn't want you to reopen this door, to like revisit the past, and in terms of like go down that route again into feeling like insecure about anything. That's not what Spirit's saying at all. This is actually coming up as an opportunity for you to reflect on and to see with the Hermit card how far you've actually come. That's it. That's all this is. Yeah, I don't think there's not really an energy here of wanting you to like re-engage with anything necessarily. I think it's coming in, yeah, it's definitely coming in more as like an internal reflection point. I hope that's making sense. Okay, so if there's a question here of like, do I get back with my ex? Is my ex coming back? Like that is not these readings, and Spirit will never, never encourage you to go back to something that wasn't healthy for you to begin with, okay? And especially if you've already sort of gone through some of the evolution and spiritual healing that was required for you to move through that experience. Okay, yeah, but Spirit wants you to experience like real, I'm hearing real love. Okay, all right, so there's that, and that's on any level. That doesn't have to be related to like an ex-partner, romantic situation. That could be connected to any situation. This could be about a job, a workplace, a friendship, anything like that. Okay. So let's go deeper. Do you want this deck? No. Okay, this one. All right, yeah. So what else Spirit does the collective need to know? I know we didn't talk about what the dog represents here. Do you want to talk about the dog? Yes? Okay. Yeah, what does the dog represent? Why are we seeing this dog? What's that about? This card. Okay. Okay, we got this card. It says dissolve. It says release identity, merge with source. Okay. Upright, yes, and reverse. Do you want this card? Okay, hold on. They want one more card. Oh no, they want one more. One more card. Hold on. They had me switch decks. So these two need to go hand in hand. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely confirming. You see this card? Yeah, it says roots, it says healthy patterns, early growth. Okay, this is actually confirming a lot of the message that I've already given here, but I was talking about like not going back to a situation that's unhealthy for you. Like that's not, again, why this is coming back up for a review or a return. That's not what this is for. And again, we're in Mercury retrograde, so those things tend to happen, okay? But it's simply for you to see, again, how much you've grown, how your roots have reached further, how you've actually anchored and solidified and stabilized yourself since this situation, and remembering that this was an important critical piece for you to have that growth, okay? As much as it didn't feel like it, as much as it's connected and definitely coming in connected with this Ten of Swords, Spirit is trying to say like this was an important like part of this process for you to get to the place where you are going. Okay, so there's that. So we have that. We also have this dissolve card. This is interesting. It's coming in almost like, I don't know how that relates with this, but it's almost like the dog is here to almost like provide some sort of support, as you're waiting for this next thing that's coming. Yeah, there's something around, I don't know why, but with dissolve and merge with source, it's coming in as like understanding you have spiritual support on multiple dimensions and levels, not just with other people or material things. It's also coming through as like potentially with animal beings as well, who are coming through to support you. And even more than that, your spirit team. I really like that message. Maybe even some plants, based on what I'm seeing with this card. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I really like that. That feels good. What else, Spirit? Do you have anything else you want to say? So what's the advice? What does the collective need to know? It seems like there's been a lot we've talked about here, but what do they need to know for moving forward? Any last advice for this collective as they're navigating the solar eclipse. This card, Strength. Yeah. Strength, absolutely. That feels so strong here. The Strength. I feel like there's an encouragement here for you to have courage. This is an encouragement for you to have faith. Yep, my timer's going off now. Have faith. This is an encouragement for you to kind of look around and see that like you're not alone and that there's possibly others going through something similar. Also that you're guided on, I'm hearing multiple planes. Okay. I'm sensing this is also coming in with the strength for those of you who have been in a situation in which you feel stuck. Again, that King of Pentacles in reverse, kind of part of the reading I was talking about. And like, you know, I wish, you know, something would change here. Spirit's trying to give you the strength through this card for you to kind of like be the hero you need for yourself. Because remember, no one else is ever coming to save us. We are always the heroes we're looking for. Okay, so Spirit is trying to come through with this reading to say like you are strong enough to do this and you are supported. I almost see like, do you see like how this rainbow almost looks like a portal? I'm seeing that kind of open up behind you. Yeah, that's exactly it. And to like kind of the rainbow, the next part of your journey here that I feel like is just associated with sort of this Queen of Cups. It's coming in with the same rainbow we see in the Queen of Cups. It's coming through as like satisfaction. Emotional satisfaction, happiness, contentment, the things you actually want and want to experience in this life. Okay, so that feels really, really good. All right, Spirit. So anything else? I'm hearing no. Do you want a final oracle card? They're saying yes. Ooh, okay. All right, so I normally like to open and close my readings with an oracle card, but we're definitely gonna close with one today. One more shelf. Okay, so, and I'm going to read from the guidebook. So let's go ahead. Final oracle card for the collective. Oh, this card. I really like this. This is exactly the energy I'm sensing. So what I started off saying literally says, come to me. So good. It says, attracting like a rose. I was like, it's like you're blooming here. Receive abundance desires. This is exactly what I was saying. I was like, you're gonna receive. Again, for those of you who've been working at it, that's exactly what this means, okay? Come to me. So it feels like, again, you're just right at that liminal space before, you know, that blooming and it starts coming to you. Just like the kind of, I don't know if you see them, the hummingbirds are like coming to this rose here, right? And that person, that's so cool. Okay. So let's read this one. It's on page 72. Could be 7-2, could be angel number 9 for you. Okay, here we go. Have you ever noticed how in summer, when the roses are at their fullest and their scent is hanging in the air, bees and other pollinators suddenly appear? Pollination happens when pollen from one plant mixes with pollen from another, or is transferred from the stigma of one flower to the stigma of another. Roses don't go running all over the place, reaching and grabbing. They rely on the bees to come to them. The rose is never reaching for the bee. It's never grasping or overstretching. It embraces what it is fully and allows life to come to it. It receives it fully. It doesn't open and close according to who walks by. It opens and blooms regardless. This card is about receiving abundance rose style. It's an invitation to receive the sweetness of your life, to embrace the magnificence of who you are, and also to open yourself up to the possibility of receiving what you yearn for deeply. To be clear on what you desire, to trust that all that's meant for you wants to come to you, to state your desires out loud and let your yearnings be known, to ask for what you desire. Don't reach or grasp. Don't strive, control, or manipulate. That will leave you exhausted, parched, and brittle. This card delivers the message that true, sustainable abundance is coming. Connect with your sensual true nature. Be unashamed of what you desire. And when it comes, relish each minute. And the soul inquiry is, what do you desire? What are you ready to open yourself up to receive? How can you attract like a flower? Isn't that perfect? This is coming in paired in with that Knight of Wands energy that I was talking about, and that incoming kind of fiery eclipse energy. All right, well, I hope this has been helpful for you. That's what I have. I'm just so grateful I had a chance to kind of channel this reading and know I'm right here with you. And especially if you're an Aries, I'm right here with you as an Aries sun myself. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful. If you feel like this message found you on time and resonated with you, feel free to give this a like. If you feel like this tarot channel is resonant for you, feel free to subscribe. That would be cool. And if you'd like to look into booking a personal reading with me, feel free to check out the description box below. But I'm wishing you a lot of blessings during this solar eclipse, and hopefully a lot of rest as well. You know, we definitely want to rest as much as possible during the eclipse season and eclipse windows. And just like this card says, like, allow it to come in. Allow it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you at our next reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.